Hey everybody, Tim Brahim, Performance Experts Coaching and Leadership 360 with another business and life tip for you. And today's business and life tip is both, right? It's both business and life now that I think about it. It's the subject matter of not taking things personally. One of the books that we assign to the folks in our Leadership 360 program is a book that perhaps you've read before or have heard of called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a really beautiful, simple book that talks about four basic agreements that we need to make with ourselves in our life if we want to have a happier life. And one of the agreements is don't take things personally. And when we start to really look at that concept and how often we in fact do take things personally, which is a very egoic response. I mean, the ego, the way it works on a psychological level is the ego thinks that it is the center of the universe and that everything that's happening is happening to us personally. It really starts to infiltrate our way of being and our experience and the way we react. So I'll give you a couple of examples, one personal and one business. And then I would say, read this book or download it on audio and listen to it because I think it'll have a profound impact on you. So on a business level, I know for me that there have been many times in my career in sales when I've been trying to get a hold of somebody that is a lead of mine. I'm calling them, I'm leaving them voicemails, they're not getting back to me. It starts to get frustrating. I start to feel like they're blowing me off. And then I start to take things personally. Like, how dare they? They're rude. They're not considerate. I go through this whole mental gymnastics and get all sensitive and offended by it. And then I give up. And it actually has an impact on my day when I'm in that state of mind, of course. How many times have you ever had something like that happen to you and then you found out that maybe the person was ill or they were out of town or something just came up for them that had nothing to do with you? In fact, I will offer that it almost never has anything to do with us. We take things personally quite often, and we need to remind ourselves that it's never really personal. Another example would just be in situations where maybe you have a dispute with a colleague or your spouse. Somebody's having a bad day. They look at you the wrong way. They blow you off. They flake out on you. They're late to an appointment. You go through the story in your mind of how they don't care and they're rude, or maybe a staff member, they didn't stay as late as you. And we start to go into this space of taking it personally, and it starts to affect our energy, the way that we interact with those people, the way we interact with everybody in our life. So I think it's really healthy to hit pause every once in a while when we're going through this process of feeling like this is a personal attack on us or a personal experience that we're going through, and to remind ourselves it's never personal. Almost every encounter that we have that isn't in our favor, that isn't what we like, is never personal. It's almost always about the other person. Even those real estate agents, as an example, that you leave 7 messages for and they never call you back. And it's really hard to not take that personal, right? It's not personal. They might have very poor organizational skills. They may be embarrassed to call you back because they don't have any business to give you and they really don't want to take a look at that themselves. More often than not, the reason that these types of things occur have nothing to do with you, and I think it's really helpful to remind ourselves of that. So I want to offer that up. Read the 4 agreements. I think you'll really dig it, and I hope that you found this to be helpful. Have a wonderful week.